September 24th, 2021. Black marble tables and Bunsen burners. The faint aroma of chemicals. Chemistry class with a twist.
If I had it my way, potion making would be its own class. But unfortunately, the board thinks it's a waste of resources. But that's a discussion for another time. Now, let's get to it. Open your books to page 325. There you'll find recipes to make easy, safe potions. What many people don't realize is potion making is almost the same as cooking. Both are just throwing ingredients into a pot, but this time with a little more magic. Sure, modern inventions have made it a bit archaic.
Magic in any form only loses its usefulness for those who cannot effectively wield it. What is magic if not another science?
But it still has its uses. I'll demonstrate a few examples, then it'll be your turn.
The professor puts some tools and other potion-making equipment on her desk. Now on to the students. They each pick a recipe from their textbook. The professor roams the room, keeping a watchful eye on things. Although these are adults, the urge to test one's luck and experiment is strong. The professor is not in the mood to deal with her pupils turning into toads, unpleasant fumes, or, more realistically, something exploding. A student pours a small amount of their potion on a pencil, and it grows in size.
Simple but effective. Just don't poke someone's eye out.
Another looks with a deceivingly sweet smile on her face as a heart escapes the bottle.
My dear, a relationship built on a lie is not a relationship worth seeking. Please dispose of that before class ends.
Regardless of the relationship's worth, the potion would not have its intended effect and would have achieved the opposite reaction. She continues on as the student rolls her eyes.
Or shall I report you to the dean?
There are more not following recipes in the books, instead concocting their own, questionable at best, elixirs.
Everyone, please stick to the recipes in the book. If you don't, I have no problem failing you. I mean it.
Alright. Don't want to show off, but also don't want to pick something too boring. Let's try this one for a spin.
She finishes the mixture as the professor walks over.
Which potion did you pick?
Levitation.
Oh.
Esther takes a sip of the potion and starts to float off the floor for a moment. Potions usually use a liquid or transdermal substance as a base that is then combined with enchanted ingredients. The actual activation of the potion's effects is reliant on the user's magical ability.
Marvelous! That recipe was supposed to be removed due to its difficulty, but to see it done perfectly, especially in a level 1 class. Bravo, Miss Faye! Bravo!
I'm sure I just got lucky.
It requires more than just luck to successfully alter the weight of one's atoms to allow for levitation.
Nonsense! Don't be so modest. I expect to keep seeing great things from you.
The other students whisper and look in Ester's direction. She's more embarrassed than proud of her achievement. Modesty is rare at this university, especially for one so obviously skilled. No matter how knowledgeable the professor, which DeMarco without a doubt is.
That's all for today's class. Don't forget, we'll be having a test next week.
Or how potentially interesting the lesson could be.
Hello? Where's your map awareness? You're gonna get ganked. Wanna lose your lane, dumbass?
Ester's interest lies in practical, usable forms of magic. Theories and histories are often ignored.
Faye.
She's been caught, but it's not as if she was truly hiding.
Tell me, what year was the failed Mage Rebellion?
That would be 1973?
DeMarco has no reaction at all. Not a wince is elicited by such an inaccurate date.
Let this be a lesson to you all. Please do study for this test and avoid, for lack of a better term, making a fool of yourself.
Ester sulks in her seat as the class is dismissed. She had previously felt embarrassment from praise, and it is now from ignorance. The island, near the lighthouse, still peaceful.
How the fields bloom, the flowers they grow just to cradle you.
Sai admires the flowers that decorate the surroundings of the rocks. There is nothing particularly notable about them, but simply being there, taking in the environment, is enough to bring a smile to her face. Her presence brings life and serenity, even more than what was already present.
The days when an angel smiled.
It's easy to be drawn in.
Hey.
Sai turns around, surprised to see Ester as well.
Hello. It's nice seeing you again. I left so suddenly before. I apologize.
No, it's all right. How have you been since then?
I've been good. And you?
At least for today, I've been better. Being both highly praised and humiliated all in the same day leads to very conflicted emotions.
I'm sorry you had to experience that.
Nah, it's good. I brought it on myself. So, this is pretty random, but you said you were homeschooled, right?
Yes.
And it was, pretty strict?
Mm-hmm.
By any chance, are you good at history?
A light appears in Sai's eyes. History is fascinating. Who isn't eager to learn of the origins of your predecessors and what led to this exact moment?
Actually, my favorite subject.
The RNG gods have blessed me. Can I ask you for a huge favor?
She looks at Ester, curiously.
I've got a history test coming up, and I need some major help. I'll pay you back, I promise.
I've never tutored anyone before. But I'll try my best.
A considerable amount of time has passed. Some subjects come naturally, while others, you may wonder if not everything can be taught.
It's hopeless. I'm hopeless.
I'm sorry. It must be because I'm not a good instructor.
No way. You're trying your best with a lousy student. I should just take the F and try again next semester. Maybe I'll take an online class. I could probably cheat my way through.
Ester knows defeat well, but this feels extra pathetic. She made an actual attempt to seek assistance with her studies, but her efforts were for naught.
What if we think of history like a video game story?
I'm listening.
Appealing to one's passion is a compelling method to redirect their focus.
I don't have much experience, but I have read about role-playing games. Maybe you could imagine yourself as a character, and it might be easier to remember the events.
Ester stares at her in silence.
A silly idea, isn't it?
Sai, you're a genius.
She looks back at her history book. The words now beginning not to escape her memory almost instantaneously.
Okay, this could be like an old-school tabletop game. Double agent working against both the British and colonists. Due to some of the unfortunate rolls and failed checks, I made a bad choice and put my trust into Honest
It was
Abe.
actually George Washington. Abraham Lincoln wasn't born until a few decades later.
Right. Good old George. Well, I guess not so good in this case. Anyway, after this, on the day of July 4th,
1776. It was when the Declaration of Independence was signed. There was supposed to be a Mage uprising, but
Mages, like their human peers, saw an opportunity and tried to seize it. They overestimated the advantage they had over the humans, leading to their downfall. The outcome would have led to another timeline of events if arrogance played no part. Magic has infinite potential, but potential is not true strength.
the plan fell through and the USA was created instead.
The realization that Ester is not a lost cause is a relief. Many things can be taught by teaching them differently.
Maybe there's hope after all. And I can actually pass.
I believe in you, Ester.
I won't let you down, Professor Sai. All this learning does work up an appetite, huh? I know of a pretty good place in the city. If you want to go, my treat.
No, I couldn't impose. I can just eat at home.
I owe you, and I'm not taking no for an answer.
Ester is dead set, and Sai seems to have no choice. Peering through the tinted window glass, the restaurant is empty, closed during the regular hours of operation.
You gotta be kidding me.
There's a sign on the entrance door.
Closed for spring cleaning. Come on, man. Come up with a better excuse. It's fall.
Ester looks at Sai, not wanting to disappoint.
Time for the dreaded backup plan.
They walk along a quiet residential street.
I know we just met and all, but I feel way too bad not keeping my promise. I hope this isn't too awkward.
No, I'm honored. I've never been invited to someone's home before.
Really?
The number 402 is positioned on the pillar of the stairs.
My dad's pretty chill, always watching TV or reading a newspaper. But Mom, she's...
Just getting back from a thrilling mathletes meeting, I'm guessing?
Velvet's skepticism turns into shock.
Mom, this is Sai. Sai, me and my mom, Velvet.
Hello.
Esther is not alone. There is a real person standing next to her,
Don't be weird.
living and breathing.
The day has come. She finally has a friend.
Velvet grabs Sai's hand,
Oh.
leading her inside the
Please,
house,
please, come in.
her excitement
This is
bursting.
so exciting. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Mom, chill out.
Velvet's eyes beam with interest. Sai, who is she? Surely Esther's new friend can't be from one of those games or chat rooms. If we're basing this judgment on assumptions and preconceived notions about her appearance, then it would be very unlikely that Esther met her online.
So, did you two meet at school? You look way too put together to be one of those strange internet people.
Mom.
Shh, Esther, let her speak.
Well, we actually met on the small island near the mainland. I was lost, wandering the forest, and she helped me back to the ferry.
Wow. Why can't you be so helpful here? Your darling mother needs a lending hand managing this house. Do you go to Eastwynne?
I don't, but I've heard many good things about it. I wouldn't mind visiting the campus one day, and possibly even attending.
Oh, you definitely should consider it. They have wonderful programs and great extracurriculars. Speaking of,
Velvet stands up, moving over to place her hands on Esther's shoulders.
our lovely Esther has some personal experience with that. She's a proud member of the Mathletes. Maybe we'll see her in a competition soon.
The strength of her grasp increases as her smile becomes deadly.
E equals MC cubed, right?
Yeah, so is dinner ready? Come on, Mom, I'll help.
Esther forcibly pushes her mum into the kitchen. Chopping vegetables, cooking meat, boiling noodles. It's a joint effort that Esther hasn't partaken in since childhood. She'll do whatever it takes to separate Velvet from Sai.
Even if it's under questionable circumstances, I thank you for the help.
Don't mention it, really.
She seems kind, smart, has a good head on her shoulders.
Velvet slightly raises an eyebrow, her gaze shifting between the dining room and her daughter. A grin only a mother could give that a child would find rather humiliating.
Beautiful too.
It's obvious to see the infatuation.
Why must you be like this?
Meanwhile, Sai and Esther's father Robert are sitting at the dining room table. Sai remains quiet, not wanting to cause a disturbance as he reads the day's newspaper. A headline catches his eye. An Emrys disciple leads Eastwynne University's debate team to national victory. He can't help but glance at Sai, who returns a smile. Sai never told them her last name, but there was no difficulty in guessing. Well, except Esther never made any guesses.
I hope you like spaghetti.
I've never had it before.
The family is caught off guard. Robert and Velvet wonder if the reason is of faith, while Esther's question is more simple. Who hasn't had spaghetti?
Wait, really?
At home, our meals aren't as fun.
Huh. Never thought of spaghetti as fun, but now that I think about it, I guess it can be. I hope it doesn't disappoint.
I'm sure it won't. It smells delicious.
Why, thank you. Let's hope it tastes the same.
The night comes to a close. It was a success. Velvet behaved herself, mostly.
Really, it was amazing. The best meal I've ever had.
Oh, stop it. You're gonna make me blush.
Again, thank you so much, Mrs.
Just call me Velvet. And please come back anytime. It's nice to have some company around here.
Sai feels warmth she hasn't felt in a long time. She would like to return and spend more time with them.
Have a good night.
Have a good night as well.
Sai waves, walking away. Esther follows, but Velvet stops her. That same grin on her face.
She's definitely a keeper.
Esther rolls her eyes and turns around.
I hope you won't hold her against me.
Of course not. Your mother's a lovely person.
You wouldn't be saying that if you lived with her for over 20 years.
Still, I wouldn't mind having a mother like that.
Her head would explode hearing you say that. What's your mom like?
I don't know. I don't remember her.
Sai lowers her head more towards the sidewalk. If she doesn't look Esther in the eyes, then she won't be able to see the hints of sadness.
Shit, sorry. I didn't mean to ask.
No, it's okay. I greatly appreciate the family I do have, and who have raised me. Though, sometimes, I do wonder what she's like.
Velvet may annoy her at times, amongst other things, but Esther couldn't imagine life without her.
Maybe one day you'll meet her.
Sai just smiles. How long can you hold on to a wish before you should give up?
I'm forever grateful that you invited me tonight.
Jeez, when you say it like that, it makes me feel like I did some grand deed. Well, as long as you'll be my tutor, you'll always have a spot at the dinner table.
Esther extends her hand, offering a handshake.
Deal?
Deal.
They shake hands, both taking their pact seriously. Perhaps not in the most literal sense, but in wanting to stay in each other's lives. September 29th, 2021.
Remember, this is just like a game.
It's the day of the test. The papers in front of her, untouched.
Easy peasy. Got this.
If passing is the only goal, then this is a trial Ester will not fail.
Episode 3, 1973. Or was it 76? How long until the last memories fade? Maybe I should have tried a little bit harder. Eastwynne, the first chapter of the TCOG narrative series created by WTS₂. You can find the full cast list and crew in the episode description and on the official website, theconsequenceofgods.com. You can also find fully animated clips, the original soundtrack, and other content of the series on the Eastwynne social media pages. Thank you for listening and for your support. Could you see us looking at the pictures on the wall?
To replay this message, press 1. To delete, press 7. To save, press 9. For more options, press 6.